Hi there, you're with English Coach. I'm Simon, and today I'd like to talk to you about counteracting depression and how you can reverse depression. Are you falling into some kind of depression, or are you feeling that your emotions and feelings are taking you to a deeply negative place? Do you want to avoid it? Is it possible to avoid it? I want to answer some of these questions with you today. Sometimes we feel ourselves being pulled in that direction and we don't put up a lot of fight, or we let ourselves go there slowly, or we put up a little bit of fight, but generally there could be other reasons that we want to uh, let go and let ourselves be dragged off to that negative side, which is depression. Some of those reasons can be for attention. Some of those reasons could be because of exhaustion. If you're offended by these ideas, remember that uh, each person suffers depression in a different way. So I'm only generalizing, and I'm not saying that it's your case specifically. And I do admit in the very first place that depression goes from something habitual to something very chemical. That means that it's a chemical process that adapts your body to cortisol, or higher rates of cortisol, a lack of serotonin in your brain that makes it seem that life has less pleasure. And this is something real, something that a person feels in their body. The question is, can it be prevented from being manifested? Is there a way of preventing this from manifesting in your body and in your mind and your brain physically? Well, I have to say, and this is where the video must put all of its emphasis, you alone can decide that. It depends on you alone. If you're still in this position of deciding where your brain and where your thoughts and energy are going, maybe this is the precipice where you can decide on which side of the coin you're going to fall, on a more positive, vibrant, and energetic side, or a more down, on a more depressive tone, on a more negative way of living. Okay? First question you need to ask yourself is, can you take the initiative to build meaning into your life? Can you take initiative to build meaning into your life? What does that mean? Can you start the process of finding out what's important to you and what represents those positive things? So they cannot be negative things or feelings of envy or hate or injustice. They need to be those feelings of past achievements, things about your personality that you celebrate, and sometimes values connected with those. I'm saying that because diet, exercise, sleep, finding the right social group, looking great on social media, these kinds of things matter less than having your own internal meaning. Having your own internal meaning is absolutely everything. It is the driving force that could, in actual fact, prevent depression and encourage you to build on some of those more positive habits that you've had in your life before. So let's talk a little bit about meaning. What do you need to do to create meaning? Well, first thing that you need to do is you need to eliminate those things that cloud the mind. If you're not on depression medication yet, it is still possible for you to create these ideas in your mind, these clear and positive and very, let's say, strategic for life ideas that you can adopt and apply, and you can follow them to see if they make a difference for you or not. And then when each one doesn't, you continue creating another one, because if you don't have drugs, medication, and alcohol and these other narcotics or intoxicants in your body, you can focus enough to continue creating those positive ideas that you could follow. Okay, so the first idea is to completely keep your brain free of outside chemicals, including alcohol, drugs, and medication for the time being. If you see your depression worsening so much, sometimes it's a real challenge, and you will uh, be facing a decision where you need to either take some kind of medication or definitely, um, at the very least, see a therapist or see a psychologist or psychiatrist. Okay. Going into meaning, your underlying values may have been abandoned through your life. You may have given up on or may have abandoned some of those values and positive beliefs that you've held since you were a child, and you abandoned them not because they were unworthy, but because of traumas and bad things that had happened to you, and you just gave up on them because you blamed life or God or circumstance and said, hey, listen, these values have no meaning to me anymore because look what life has proven to me. And in fact, whenever we say that, look what life has proven to me, we start letting go of the best things that we have, which are our principles, our values, and our inner strength, because we're saying life has taken the reins on our coach and basically steered us toward something terrible. Okay, and therefore we blame life and we say that life was responsible for taking these things away from us. Isn't that interesting? So your underlying values may have been abandoned because of external circumstances that you made mean this sucks or this is a terrible life and that I'm being victimized here. And so none of those great things that I held on to and none of those things that I treated as sacred are really sacred. I throw them in the rubbish. I sacrifice those things because I expected more from life. Well, guess what? You are the only one that can build the understanding or the idea of life. There is nobody else that can do that for you. You are the only one that can recognize what's good for you in life. So when you throw everything away, it is on you. So first of all, forgive yourself if that's what you've done or if that's what you're doing. If you're throwing away your values, if you're throwing away those positive beliefs about life, pick them up again, dust them off, and put them back in your heart. Because life is manipulated by us. We are not manipulated by life. The next point is building a vision for yourself, doing positive things in the present with a vision of yourself in the future. So if you could see yourself 2 years from now or 5 years from now, maybe the very feeling makes you sick to the stomach because you're feeling so negative about life right now. But create the space you need to create to get a picture of yourself in 2 to 5 years the way that you would want yourself, in the most positive light, and take at least some small positive acts today, no matter how small they are. It could be just a phone call, it could be just an email, it could be just making your bed, and connect those things together. Connect that image of yourself in the future with those little positive things you're doing in your daily life now, and slowly bring them closer together until those two things meet. Okay? Be unreasonable, be rebellious, and be absolutely unchangeable in your dedication to invite and sustain positive thought. It doesn't matter even if it is something ridiculous, like being happy to see an ant, or being happy to see a spider, or finding some kind of joke about the dishes that you're washing in your kitchen, or some kind of internal epiphany about how life conspires to be good and not to be bad, but our mind sometimes shows us that things are bad, when in reality it's all a canvas, an empty canvas for you to paint whatever you like. Okay, so the last point that I'd like to make here is insist on healthy habits and insist on healthy ideas that are practical for your life. So take in something right now or today that you would like to do for yourself this week. That includes, what kind of exercise would you like to start doing? Or what kind of exercise would you like to start doing more if you're already doing one? Okay. How can you make the rituals of the day more meaningful in terms of eating, in terms of sleeping? And lastly, how can you reduce the things that stop those rituals from having meaning, which means things like overeating, things like oversleeping, and things like watching way too much TV, like just watching way too much TV, going the whole day watching TV, you know? How can you cut those things from your life so that you'll give yourself the ability to be able to start creating a new meaning for yourself? So just going through the video quickly today, okay? The person who is responsible for you and the direction in your life is you. Why? Because the meaning that you are creating right now in your life is absolutely sacred. That meaning that you're creating in your life is so personalized and customized to you, and the only person who can do it is you. If you're thinking that's impossible, remember you have all of the time and space in the world to do that. Now, you may have some negative influences, but if you've identified them as negative influences, you already know that their input is invalid. You already know that, okay? The second part, create that meaning first before you start changing a whole heap of habits. Write down your meaning of life if everything was rosy, if things were more positive. You know, where would you be? What kind of things would you be doing? And don't feel a feeling of loss. Remember, attaining great things is not necessarily as great as dreaming them up and planning them out. Dreaming things up and planning them out, even under depression, can be really satisfying, or let's say mild depression, okay? If you're really suffering, you need to see a therapist or you need to take medication. I would always encourage anybody to see a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist first before they take the chemical route, okay? Lastly, unreasonable and unchangeable attitudes. So basically, insisting on a positive mindset. If this is a point where you're afraid to go to the dark side, so to speak, you can insist on positivity. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, and to me, it sounded like a farce when I was 20 years old. But when we smile, when we commit to positive acts, and when we take out other influences from our life, alcohol, drugs, negative people, we really do turn things around. It's generally because those people or those habits and addictions are already part of our life. And so just getting them out, getting toxic people or getting drugs and other chemicals out of our life and out of our bodies can sometimes be just as challenging or just as grueling as fighting the depression itself. And I don't mean fighting, but maybe reverting, taking it to the other polar opposite, because depression is just part of a spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum, you've got all of the great things, all of the great emotions waiting for you. And you just need to trigger a direction change and start making your way toward the more positive side. And I'll tell you right now, all of us are weak. All of us have problems. None of us have got to the point where we know something better about life. You know, a lot of people are selling their course. But what I'm here today to tell you is it really is up to how you form your own philosophy. That is the secret, how you form your own philosophy. Because when you're following someone else's, well, the uphill climb can be more full of boulders and mountain lions, if you like. Good luck, and I hope you can apply something positive to your life today and form your own meaning. Okay, thanks. If you like my video today, please hit that subscribe button and send me a comment below. Thanks a lot.